Welcome back to Copperhead Customs. Today we're back on this beauty. Let's see if we can rebuild the front end. Okay, so this beautiful piece of artwork is our 1938 Chevy Australian built cab, as you can tell by these beautiful ribs, built by Holden's. For those of you that don't know, Holden's built cabs for multiple car companies back in the day before they actually were a car manufacturer, when they used to make cars, because now they don't make nothing. So anyway, we're building this for 5,000 is the challenge that we are trying. It's trying to build this for 5,000 Australian, which is not a lot of spondoolies. It's sitting on a 1933 fully boxed Chevy chassis that I've done. It's been X-framed, shortened, narrowed, all the good stuff's happened to this chassis. It's running a 4-bar rear. And we have a Holden HT Holden, which is like a late 60s Holden front end put in it. And we are going to put new bushes, ball joints, in and out of tie rods, bump stops, basically everything through that front end, rebuild it, paint it, put it back together, finished product. So we have something finished. We also want to get our, we have some brake calipers to look at mounting, we have some guards to look at, we have lots of other little hidden surprises coming up in this episode, but you will need to stick around till later on to see what they will be. So without any more ado, we won't get anything done if we don't start working. So let's stop talking, let's start building. Alright, to start with, we'll get this nose cone off. This front end's already been rebuilt. Just needed a quick brake clean and a wipe over, and these components are already done. The spindle, the bolts all been inoxed and wire brushed, and hence how it's pulling apart so easy. But while we're here, we might as well put new bearings, new everything in. They don't cost a lot. These ball joints have to be ground off, pins ground off and punched through. New ones will have bolts. So they're the original ball joint. Okay, this is where we are at. As you can see, we've painted the chassis rails basically from here forward. Our cross member, it's had 2 coats with the brush, yes, with the brush of the enamel. That's how we're doing it. We haven't ground down any welds or anything. We've left everything as it is. Just slapped some paint on it. That's how we want to run it, and that way if anyone wants to inspect anything, well, yeah, we've painted. We haven't even ground the welds down and you can see it. So we could wire brush them off the paint, show the weld, paint it. That's how we're doing it. We're building rat rods. We're not building fancy little ground up show cars. Steering rack's been painted. We'll throw some grease in that before we do it. Now, with the uppers, gave us some grief. We had to grind these, the top ball joint bolts off, pins off, because they'd never been used before. And the bottom ones, we had to cut out and slam through. Bit of curry there. And same on the bottoms. We had to cut them out. We heated them, cut them, hammered them. We found that was just easier in the end. The bottom ball joints pressed out easy. Once we got this part out, we could press the other one out. But yeah, by the time I made up a special tool and whatever, it was easy to just cut them out. So we've got everything out now anyway. Everything's out, painted, and now ready to put all our new pieces back in. So that is where we are up to. They did fight me a little bit, but we'll be all right. Now the bearings, we haven't knocked the bearings out at this stage because I just greased them and they all seemed very good. So I'm thinking we're just going to leave the bearings for now and we'll see what they're like. We've got them there to replace if we have to. What we also did is we put some oil on that guard, and if we go look at the other one, so we can do a before and after, that's what it looked like. I know the light is terrible there, and this is what the oil does. The same at the top. That's not oiled. This side's oiled. It's pretty nice, isn't it? And we went and oiled. We just put a little bit there to show the difference. Just gives it this nice. And see, that was put on last night and that's pretty much already set. So remember, this is my own little formula that I'm coming up with. It's a bit different than what everyone uses. It's not boiled linseed. I'm using different oils. And they're like, I don't know, they bring out a bit of a different one because of the red that's in those wood oils. They bring the colours out a bit different. But there's the nose cone. I don't know if you can tell in that light, but it is looking beautiful. So there's our, there we go. There's our rust line that we did, and our weld line through there. I think I know the light's probably giving you some grief, but and all this is new, and it's all sort of turning out. Looking, blending. The light just will not adjust on this camera. So anyways, let's get all this new stuff in. Get it on the car. we got a bit done. So, all our suspension is done. New ball joints, upper and lower bushes, upper lower ball joints, new steering arms, brake calipers are on, the guards are on. So as you would have seen, we've got our calipers mounted to the front because we've got our steering rack at the back of the assembly. These are normally designed the other way. So this is a HT front, HT Holden front cross member. We've got HQ stub axles and disc brakes. And we've got a Commodore, early Commodore steering rack. So normally that spindle would be on the other side and the steering rack would be in the front. Now when those steering arms got swapped, I tried it, they actually failed on the calipers. So regardless, we're running our calipers at the front, which is all well and good. What it meant was we had to chop the brackets off of our guards and swap them around. Okay, and then the brackets fouled a little bit on the control arm, but we just gave that a little grind and a little grind on the bracket, and so we've got our guards on, disc brakes are on, we need to get brake lines. So these calipers are very, very expensive for some reason, I don't know why. These are polished ones, we got these at a reasonable price. I don't know why these HQ brake calipers are very, very expensive. So now we have brand new shocks, new springs, new ball joints top and bottom, new bushes top and bottom, new I've had a brain thing, but yeah, rebuilt the rack, and we've put new steering arms. What are they called? I've gone stupid. Anyway, it will come to me in a minute. It's in here. It's just coming out. Now I didn't change the bearings as yet. I've got them sitting there, but these were done and they were nice, so I didn't change them at this stage. You can always change them later. And if you're do these bushes, they can be done. They're just a bear. Seriously, they're just a bear, but mechanics probably don't even want to do them anymore. I honestly found basically cutting them out. Once you get the arm out up the top there, you can push the other one out. But basically just none of me little jerry-rig tools. This is on the HT Holden front. None of me little tools worked that I had when I did the HQ ones. We were able to pump them all out. But with these ones, you have to do them in position. Now we could have, if we made some different little adapters, we probably could have done it. But basically just cut them out, I think. So anyways, we found a Gilmer belt pulleys we had lying on the shelf, so we just put them on. So the bottom one, we just had to open the holes up a little bit, but there's a set of holes on there that worked. The top ones, we had to do the bigger water pump bolts. And we've got an alternator coming, so we can put the pulley on that. And we'll have to get a belt, because I think the belt I got was too long. So we're making some progress. We're making some progress, aren't we? What we're going to do now is, we don't know about our wheel alignment. I haven't measured any of that yet. We'll just measure that up once we get all the wheels on. Here's our guards, if you're wondering. Now, we've got to run guards, okay? So before anyone says anything, we have to run guards here in Australia. No if, buts or maybes, I have to run them. And at the moment I'm thinking of leaving them black. They sort of disappear a bit. It's that, or we paint them to look rusty. I think that looks okay. We'll get away with that. So anyways, what are we got to do? We're going to put our radiator back in soon, I think. We can now. That's all done. Oh yeah, we painted our alternator bracket there too. I think our radiator can go back in. I think our nose cone can probably go back on. We've got to do something with our wheels quickly. And, oh yeah, we've got some fittings to do these replace these two vacuums. We're going to join them and we'll do that in a second. Yes. And we're going to run that down to the distributor. Yeah. So anyways, then we're going to, I think we might do our doors. We'll see. We might logo the door. Give it an oil. Give the whole thing another coat of patina juice. And we'll see where we're at. There's something else I wanted to do, but I've forgotten. Anyways, let's do the next bit. Alrighty, we are back. We haven't done the back rims, we've only done the front ones. There's the angle from here. Guards on. I think black looks okay because the wheels just the guard just sort of disappears from here. How's the hubcaps? Hey, the old salad bowl hubcaps. And man, this thing looks so cool now. I don't know, I was just sitting here drooling over it. It's starting to look like something. Hey guys, it's starting to look like something now, isn't it? So we'll zoom back at it to record in the shed. Our rails all painted, our suspension all done. The only thing that we is a sway bar. Drop some comments about a sway bar. Do I need to run a sway bar? If so, I'll have to jerry rig something up. But hey, that's starting to look pretty nice, isn't it? Rad's mounted. Our Gilmer belt pulleys are going to work. Alternator's on the way. We've got our twin carbies, rebuilt carbies happening. Chassis painted. We still got to bolt the nose cone on. Probably going to bolt it where we got these two clamps. Hey, the guards look good. Guards look good. Hubcaps look awesome. It's really starting to come along. So we're still waiting on some more parts to come. We've got some black leads coming. I think I've got a electronic one in the box over there. We've got an alternator. We've got a chrome rocker cover. I'm actually liking the black though. I ordered a black alternator. We've got a chrome one up here. I've ordered a chrome breather and push-in cap, which could go onto, well, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know nothing. But anyway, our front end looks wicked. I'm loving it. I'm loving this car. I am loving this car. If we come over here, just the whole stance, everything, it's like, it just looks, it's very hard to pick it on the camera. In real life, the stance, the little wheels, the big wheels, it's actually angled pretty hardcore. Rims off. But those salad bowls on the front, they are unreal. So, I don't know, I reckon that looks really cool. So I think they're $6 each, those salad bowls. Okay, and they stick out fair way. All right, and the back ones won't. The back ones will, because the back one's a dish, so the back ones will probably be slightly in, maybe flush. It's just, it looks cool. It just looks really cool. Anyway, little matey, you can see he's pasted. He's sad enough. But we're going to try to do one more job before we go in. Oakley Dokley. There's our logos we did. Put our stencil up, sprayed black down first, then we sprayed some red down, a bit of heat gun to dry it off a bit, a little bit of the cream, dried that a little bit, then came in with the Scotch-Brite around all the edges to sharpen them, and then went over the letters to patina it up. And I think that looks pretty good. And on the other side, because you know they don't wear the same, and the other side we did the same thing. This side's probably weathered a bit harder. And over here, when we oiled the car, the oil obviously has a little bit of a we've got a bit of thinners in that in the oil, and it's ripped a little bit extra paint off at the top there, where you can see like the red. So that's pulled another layer off, and it's down to the red there, and like that even looks better because that's even more patinaed back. So I think the logos have turned out really cool. I think personally they look really cool. So yeah, we've given that another coating of our patina juice oil mix. Reach out to me if you want to know what I did there. It's different. It's not boiled linseed. It's my own mix. It's using Danish wood oil and Scandinavian oil and whatever else I concocted up. And it's got a bit of a reddish hue to it. In the one of them's like a red Danish, and it actually puts a bit of extra. I don't know, it seems to lift a bit extra colour out. No, it's going to just clamp. We're going to go grab the bonnet in a minute. We did our vacuum line over here. That's all quite neat. Our two little vacuum lines come out. They got us the wrong fittings. So the big hose, but I've used it anyway. And reduced down here. I did the reducing. So it's sort of hidden. Ran them next to the fuel line. I think that was pretty neat. So there's that done. And I don't know. I think the car's looking cool. Anyway, I'm going to quickly go grab the bonnet. We'll quickly throw the bonnet on it. And hey, the sunset, beautiful. And we'll quickly give the bonnet a quick smudge, and then we'll come back. There it is, bonnet on. Now all the weird, how it's not lining up, that will line up when I latch it. I've actually bought some latches, so yeah, when we bolt the nose cone on and then latch down the bonnet, all of these weird fitment issues will disappear. That's just because it's just sitting on there. Okay, so this body line here, when it pulls down, that lines up, it gets rid of that little curve in the top there, and it all looks beautiful. But that changes the look of the car, doesn't it? With the bonnet on to with the bonnet off. Now I think we did the bonnet, and also because we were going to put a 6-cylinder in it, I was pretty keen on hiding the motor. But the little 6-banger looks pretty cool now. So anyway, we can now, I'm happy to run it with it on or off. Our rust work here went pretty hardcore on the bonnet. Probably went a little bit too far. I probably should have oiled it a bit quicker. We probably left the acid on a bit long. But it looks old, so that's what it's all about. Hey, how good those hubcaps look. Anyway, So you can see it's getting dark. Let's quickly push it in the shed and we'll go from there. Alright, well, I think we did pretty good this episode. We rebuilt all the front end, front to back, painted it. We did the hubcaps on the wheels. We mounted everything permanently at the front. We did the Gilmer belt drive. We did the vacuum lines. We did the wicked looking sign writing, patina sign writing on the door. And then we gave it a coat of my homemade patina juice. And I think it looks magnificent. So next time, I think we're going to look at mounting the bonnet properly. And I think we may look at starting the interior, doing the floor, and we've got more motor components coming in all the time. Up here, buddy, come on. So anyway, me and little mate, we're going for a drive in the Oakland, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.